It's a Harley, and the sound of that Harley is a little different, I have to tell you. It's really good. So thank you, Harley-Davidson, for building things in America. I think you're going to even expect...
Sales are crashing, parts are drying up, and some of the most legendary names in motorcycling are barely hanging on. Riders are getting burned, dealerships are closing, and resale values are in free fall. The bikes may still look beautiful in the showroom, but behind the chrome is a brand on life support. So here's the big question. Will your next motorcycle be from a brand that might not even survive the year? Victory Motorcycles. Gone, but not forgotten.
1,000 Victories were sold that year. Victory went on to take over the American motorcycle market, took the world by storm, and everyone lived happily ever after, right?
Victory Motorcycles was launched with big ambitions to challenge the dominance of Harley-Davidson and bring fresh energy to the American cruiser market. For a while, it seemed like the underdog was ready to rewrite the rules. With bold designs, powerful engines, and a promise to deliver American-made performance, Victory gained a loyal following of riders eager for an alternative to the old guard. But despite all the hype and a passionate fan base, Victory's journey was cut tragically short when Polaris, its parent company, pulled the plug in 2017.
The following 5 years failed to keep up with expectations, leading up to 2017 when Polaris announced that it would wind down Victory Motorcycles.
Since that shutdown, Victory's slow fade has cast a long shadow over the motorcycle world. The brand isn't just dormant, it's becoming a ghost, haunting riders who invested their money and trust in these machines. What's left behind is a complicated and frustrating reality for Victory owners: a shrinking support network, dwindling parts availability, and a resale market that's rapidly evaporating.
It's the capital required to compete as an American motorcycle manufacturer. At that time, Victory announced that it would maintain parts manufacturing for
Polaris made a strategic decision to double down on Indian motorcycles, another American heritage brand with deeper roots and arguably more market potential. This move left Victory out in the cold, with no clear future and very little corporate support. For riders, this means that maintenance and repairs are becoming increasingly difficult. Parts that were once easy to find are now scarce, forcing owners to wait weeks or even months for replacements, or to resort to costly custom fixes. What once felt like a promise of innovation and competition now feels like abandonment. The aftermarket, which typically helps keep niche brands alive with third-party parts and accessories, is slowly drying up for Victory. Independent shops are less willing to specialize in a brand that no longer produces new bikes, and fewer mechanics have the expertise or incentive to work on Victory models. This all adds up to a frustrating experience for owners who want to keep their bikes on the road but find themselves battling against time and supply shortages. Resale value has taken a serious hit as well. Unlike Harley-Davidson, whose name still carries weight on the used market, Victory motorcycles struggle to find buyers. Prospective owners hesitate, wary of the potential headaches that come with owning a brand without ongoing support. Many longtime Victory owners have had to settle for selling their bikes at a fraction of their original price, or simply hold on to them without any clear exit plan. In many ways, Victory's victory was brief but impactful. The brand challenged norms, brought fresh designs to American motorcycling, and sparked a passionate community. But its sudden disappearance has left that community fragmented and uncertain. For those who love Victory motorcycles, the legacy isn't just about the bikes. It's about a dream that ended too soon, and a reminder that in the fast-moving world of motorcycling, even a strong start doesn't guarantee survival. Victory may be gone from the production line, but it's not forgotten by the riders who still cherish what it represented, and the empty space it leaves in a market hungry for genuine alternatives. Royal Enfield, North America, losing grip on the market.
There's a ritual to it. It's more than just jumping into a car. There's a whole ritual to getting ready and getting prepared mentally.
A few years ago, Royal Enfield burst onto the North American motorcycle scene like a breath of fresh air. The brand, long famous in India and other parts of the world for its classic, retro-inspired bikes, seemed poised to capture the hearts of American riders looking for something simple, stylish, and affordable. The Interceptor 650 in particular became an instant hit. A modern classic with a twin-cylinder engine, vintage looks, and a price tag that felt downright reasonable compared to the bloated costs of other brands. For a moment, it looked like Royal Enfield might rewrite the rules of the game and carve out a lasting spot in the competitive US market. But that initial excitement quickly ran into harsh reality.
road rage incident turned into a hit and run that injured a motorcyclist in Beaverton, Oregon. Video shows the interaction between the driver of a Kia Carnival.
The biggest issue? Reliability. Royal Enfield's bikes, while charming and eye-catching, have struggled with mechanical problems that make owners think twice. Reports of electrical glitches, fuel delivery issues, and inconsistent build quality started piling up. For riders, nothing kills the joy of owning a motorcycle faster than constant trips to the shop and worries about breakdowns on the road. The once promising simple and dependable image began to erode, replaced by frustration and doubt. Adding fuel to the fire is the limited dealership network across the United States. Unlike giants like Honda or Yamaha, which have dealers in nearly every state, Royal Enfield's footprint remains small and scattered. Many owners find themselves with no local dealership to turn to for service, repairs, or even basic maintenance. This lack of accessibility creates a barrier to entry for potential buyers and leaves existing customers feeling abandoned when they need help most. Parts availability only makes the situation worse. Genuine components and upgrades are hard to come by in North America, often leading to long wait times or inflated prices for repairs. Without a strong supply chain, owners face delays that grind their riding experience to a halt. Independent mechanics are reluctant to take on Royal Enfield bikes without ready access to parts, and that adds another layer of difficulty. This combination of mechanical woes, poor service infrastructure, and parts shortages is causing many American riders to jump ship. Enthusiasm that was once high is now fading fast. The brand's reputation is slipping just as quickly as its market share. Unless Royal Enfield commits to a serious overhaul of its service network and parts support in North America, the future looks grim. In a market where reliability, support, and rider trust are everything, Royal Enfield is losing ground. Without change, the iconic brand risks becoming just a footnote in the U.S. motorcycle story, a bold idea that failed to deliver when it mattered most. Indian motorcycles, struggling to keep the spark alive.
Manufacturer of motorcycles in America, so that's kind of a cool story. They make bikes that look good, that look appealing. I mean, they have all the chrome.
Indian motorcycles, once the pride of American motorcycling, has faced its own share of turbulence despite its storied history. Known for powerful cruisers and a rich legacy that rivals Harley-Davidson, Indian seemed positioned to be the torchbearer for classic American bikes in the modern era. However, the brand is now wrestling with challenges that threaten its future. Sales have taken a hit, and many riders are beginning to question whether Indian can keep up with the rapidly evolving motorcycle market. While Indian's lineup is packed with heavyweight cruisers and baggers that deliver serious power and style, critics argue the brand has fallen behind in embracing innovation, especially when it comes to technology and rider experience. Digital displays, advanced safety features, and lightweight handling, areas where competitors like Yamaha and Honda have made significant strides, still lag in Indian's offerings.
That'll work, that's fine. I mean, just from the way things go together, whether it's the gas tank lid or the seat, don't even get me started on the levers and...
Add to that the growing price tags. Indian's bikes often come with premium price points that push the limits for many potential buyers. This is particularly tough in a market where younger riders seek affordability combined with cutting-edge tech and versatility. Parts and maintenance have also become pain points for many Indian owners. While the dealer network is better than some smaller brands, it still doesn't match the vast coverage of the biggest players. Delays in parts delivery and costly repairs add frustration, especially for riders who want their bikes to perform without constant downtime. All these factors have created cracks in Indian's once solid reputation. While still holding on to loyal fans, the brand must evolve quickly or risk falling into the same trap as other struggling names, too reliant on legacy and not agile enough for the future. Moto Guzzi, a legacy brand running out of road. Moto Guzzi is a name that carries a lot of weight in the world of motorcycles, especially in Italy, where it's considered a national treasure. Founded in 1921, it's one of the oldest motorcycle manufacturers in the world, known for its distinctive V-twin engines and unique shaft drive. Its bikes have a charm and character that many riders appreciate, with a style that's unmistakably European and a history full of racing success and engineering innovation. But when it comes to the US market, and really the global market at large, Moto Guzzi is facing serious challenges that threaten its survival.
Everything is better about the Suzuki: the performance, the economy, the handling, and the build quality. And that's from Dave, aka...
For years, Moto Guzzi has been a niche brand, appealing mainly to passionate enthusiasts who value tradition and heritage. But passion alone isn't enough to keep a brand alive in today's cutthroat motorcycle industry. Unlike brands that aggressively innovate with new tech or modern designs, Moto Guzzi seems stuck in the past. Its bikes still rely heavily on older technology, which may delight longtime fans but does little to attract younger riders who want smart features, better performance, and cutting-edge safety systems. One of the biggest hurdles Moto Guzzi faces is the inconsistent availability of parts and service. Many riders have shared stories about how difficult it can be to find replacement parts, or how dealerships aren't always equipped or knowledgeable enough to service these motorcycles properly. When buying a bike, reliability and after-sales service are huge factors for most people. If you're worried about where to get your bike fixed or how long it will take to get parts, it's a serious deterrent. And with many dealerships unsure how to handle Moto Guzzi's unique mechanics, it makes the brand seem risky to potential buyers.
In two-tone blue, £2,895, but listen to this, just backs up what I was talking about. Listed 5 months ago.
Sales numbers reflect these struggles. Moto Guzzi's US sales have been sliding for years, with only a small group of dedicated riders keeping the brand afloat. The lack of aggressive marketing doesn't help either. In an age where brands like Yamaha, Honda, and KTM are flooding social media, sponsoring events, and connecting with younger audiences, Moto Guzzi's quieter presence means it's often overlooked. It's like a hidden gem, but hidden too well. When potential buyers don't see or hear about a brand regularly, it's easy to forget it even exists. Moreover, the motorcycle industry itself is evolving rapidly. Riders today want bikes that are not just stylish, but smart. Features like customizable ride modes, ABS, traction control, and smartphone connectivity have moved from luxury extras to must-haves. Electric motorcycles are also gaining attention, representing the future of the industry. Moto Guzzi's slow pace in adopting these trends means it's falling behind competitors who are meeting and shaping the demands of modern riders. The brand has made attempts to refresh its lineup, introducing new models like the V85 TT, an adventure bike designed to compete with offerings from more popular brands. The V85 TT received praise for its blend of classic styling and modern capabilities. However, these efforts have not been enough to reverse the overall decline. The brand's identity is caught between being a vintage classic and a modern competitor, struggling to fully commit to either path. Triumph Motorcycles.
A new icon was introduced, the Thunderbird. A powerful machine with a 650 cubic centimeters engine specifically designed for the American market and
a brand with a rich British heritage that once symbolized style, speed, and a rebellious spirit. Known for classics like the Bonneville and the Thruxton, Triumph carved out a loyal following worldwide. But despite this legacy, Triumph is struggling to keep pace with the rapid changes sweeping the motorcycle industry. Over the past few years, Triumph's sales have shown signs of decline. The brand's biggest challenge isn't just about selling motorcycles. It's about standing out in a market crowded with options that offer newer tech, lower prices, and more versatile designs. Riders today want motorcycles that can do it all: easy city commuting, long highway rides, and off-road adventures. While Triumph offers models across various categories, many feel the brand hasn't innovated fast enough to meet these evolving needs.
for Triumph. From the land of the rising sun, Honda emerged as a giant. Its CB750.
One of the biggest issues is Triumph's pricing strategy. Many of their bikes come with a premium price tag that's hard to justify when brands like Yamaha, KTM, and Honda offer machines packed with more modern features at a better value. Even longtime fans hesitate before committing to a bike that might cost thousands more but doesn't deliver enough extra in performance or tech to justify the cost. Technology is another sticking point. While Triumph has made efforts to update its lineup with features like ride modes, ABS, and traction control, the competition is moving faster. Electric motorcycles, smartphone connectivity, advanced digital dashboards, and lightweight materials are now expected by new buyers, and Triumph is still playing catch-up in many areas. Supply chain issues have also hurt Triumph's ability to keep up with demand and maintain parts availability. Delays in getting bikes to dealers and in sourcing replacement parts frustrate customers and dealers alike. This has led to longer wait times and sometimes higher repair costs, which can push potential buyers toward brands with better service reputations. The brand's image, once tied to rock and roll and racing glory, now feels a bit dated to younger riders. The new generation doesn't just want a bike, they want an experience that fits their lifestyle and values. Triumph's traditional styling and marketing sometimes miss the mark with this crowd, who often gravitate toward brands that feel more modern, versatile, or eco-conscious. Moreover, Triumph's electric motorcycle ambitions are still in their infancy. The company recently introduced the TE1, an electric prototype designed to compete in a market that's quickly shifting away from gas engines. However, the road to full electrification is long and expensive, and Triumph's late start puts it at a disadvantage compared to brands already investing heavily in electric technology. Financially, the pressure is mounting. With shrinking sales, increasing production costs, and investments needed for innovation and electrification, Triumph faces tough decisions. Without a strong pivot toward modern design, improved tech, and aggressive pricing, the brand risks losing its foothold. In short, Triumph is at a crossroads. It must find a way to honor its heritage while boldly embracing the future, or risk becoming another name fading from the roads. Will Triumph rise to the challenge and reclaim its spot as a top player, or will it fall victim to the changing tides of the motorcycle world? KTM, Street Market, USA. Slowing down the speed machines.
Over the next few months to try and save the iconic European brand. But they are one of the largest motorcycle companies in the world, right? How could this happen? Well, let's take a dive in.
KTM has long been a powerhouse in the off-road motorcycle world. Known for their aggressive design, sharp performance, and a deep racing heritage, KTM dirt bikes have earned respect and loyalty from riders around the globe. However, when it comes to the US street market, KTM is facing growing challenges that threaten to slow down its once unstoppable momentum. KTM's street bike lineup, especially the Duke and RC series, has earned a solid reputation for combining sport bike performance with a distinct, edgy style. These bikes have always been the choice for riders who want speed, agility, and a thrill every time they hit the throttle. The Duke's naked aggressive look and the RC's race-ready fairing make them stand out in a crowded market. Yet despite this appeal, KTM's grip on the American street bike scene is loosening, and several factors are contributing to this decline.
Finding success through the 50s and 60s, they then went international, opening a US subsidiary as KTM North America in Ohio in the late 70s. By 1981,
one major issue is maintenance. KTM street bikes, while exhilarating to ride, tend to demand more upkeep than many of their competitors. High maintenance costs, frequent servicing intervals, and the need for specialized knowledge mean that owning a KTM is not as straightforward as owning a bike from some of the more mainstream brands. For casual riders or those new to motorcycling, this can be a deal breaker. It's not just about the initial purchase price. It's about the ongoing cost and effort required to keep the bike running at its best. Another problem KTM faces in the US market is dealer support. While KTM has been expanding its dealer network, many riders still find it difficult to get convenient access to service centers or knowledgeable mechanics, especially outside major cities. This lack of widespread support creates a gap in customer confidence. When riders know they can't easily get repairs or maintenance done, they start to hesitate on buying, or they might switch to brands with stronger local presence and service options. On top of these challenges, KTM's street bikes are battling fierce competition from Japanese manufacturers like Yamaha, Honda, and Kawasaki. These brands have been offering street motorcycles that combine reliability, modern technology, and affordable pricing, all backed by extensive dealer networks and strong reputations. For many riders, especially those who prioritize hassle-free ownership, Japanese bikes offer better value and peace of mind. Despite these hurdles, KTM is far from finished. The company has started pushing innovations like the introduction of more user-friendly models and expanding its electric bike lineup. But whether these moves can stem the slide in the US street market remains to be seen. The competition isn't standing still, and riders today demand a perfect blend of performance. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.